back to the wonderful world of bureaucratic blazers. I'm Clay.
And I'm Cayman. After talking about the different branches of government, today we're going to discuss how they have balance of power through checks and balances.
Checks and balances create what we call the separation of powers that keep one branch from holding too much power.
Let's begin with the legislative branch. The legislative's main job is to create laws. To keep the legislative in check, those laws can be kept from being enacted if the president blocks it with a veto. There are two types of vetoes. There's a regular veto and a pocket veto. A regular veto is when the president sends back the proposed legislation from the legislature within a 10-day period that he has to review it with notes on what he wants to be changed on the bill. This veto can be overruled by the legislative if both the Senate and the House have at least 2/3 vote in favor of the bill as is. The bill will also become law if the president does not sign it within a 10-day period while Congress is in session.
So what's a pocket veto like? Does the president just stick the veto in his pocket and forget about it?
Well, it's not that simple. A pocket veto is an indirect veto where the president is unable to sign the bill during a 10-day period due to Congress being adjourned.
So if the bill becomes a law, there's no way it can be changed, right?
Actually, that is also incorrect. The judicial branch can later call laws that have been enacted to be unconstitutional.
Well, how are the other branches controlled?
Well, the executive still has the power of executive orders, which are like proclamations made by the president that carry the force of law, but those can be ruled as unconstitutional by the Supreme Court as well, which a Supreme Court is made of justices that are nominated by the president. This goes for the Court of Appeals judges and district court judges as well.
But the legislative branch still seems to be the most controlled.
Well, the legislative has to approve these nominations made by the president and even has the power to impeach and remove these judges and the president. The legislative also has the power of the purse, which means they control the budget of the United States.
See? I get it now, but I have one thing that's been bothering me. How did Donald Trump become president when he lost the popular vote? Like, how does our electoral system even work?
I've explained a lot to you today, and I'm already going to pass it off to Devin and Sydney. I'll take it away.
Thank you, Clay and Cayman. We would be happy to explain.
Yeah, the way we elect a president has been a topic of major discussion since this past November. There are two main questions that stem from this topic. How do our actual elections work, and why do we use this system?
The former question of how do our actual elections work is a little complicated, but we will try to keep it simple for you. First, we need to understand the Electoral College and its votes. There are a total of 538 votes divided among each state and DC. There are 538 votes because that is the number of every seat in Congress, 100 in the Senate and 438 in the House of Representatives.
These votes are proportioned to each state based on the population size. California has the most with 55 and Wyoming has the least with 3.
Don't forget DC though. Because of the 23rd Amendment to U.S. Constitution, the nation's capital was given the same amount of votes as the state with the fewest, meaning DC gets 3. But wait, there's more. Here's where the term Electoral College comes in. The word college here is not like a university like UAB, but used to signify an organized body of people engaged in a common task. See, when a candidate wins the majority of each state, they are not necessarily given those votes directly. The citizens are actually voting for a group of electors that are appointed by the winning candidate's party, who then vote for the candidate on the citizens' behalf. These electors aren't really obligated to vote for the candidates that their state voted for. Those who go against their state's wishes and that vote for a different candidate are called faithless electors. More than a dozen states do not have any laws that punish faithless electors, and those that do issue a fine that will gladly be paid by the opposing party. This has happened 87 times in the past, and while it has not directly affected an election, it can still be done. These electors are who citizens are voting for on election day. All of the electors that meet in DC later in December to choose the new president of the United States.
This process doesn't make much sense in today's context, which brings us to our second question. Why do we use this system? When the Founding Fathers were discussing on how to choose a president, they came across some problems. With 13 states of all different sizes spread out through the eastern side of the continent with little transportation or communication, it's difficult to choose just one candidate through popular vote. The Founding Fathers feared that without adequate information and little campaigning by the candidates at the time, that the citizens in each state would only choose candidates that came from their territory. This would favor the bigger states and have little input from the smaller ones. So, they wrote in the Constitution under Article 2, Section 1 that each state would have electors that would meet in the nation's capital to discuss and choose a candidate to be the next president from across all states. This is why the Electoral College is in place today.
I hope that clears up a little bit of the election process for you guys. Now if someone could explain the immigration ban, that would be great.
Hopefully this breakdown helps you to understand the balance of power and the institutions of American government a bit better now.
Since this is our final video, we want to say thank you for watching.
We've had a great time creating this for you and hope you were able to learn something about American government.
So from all of us,
Thank you.
Why do we use this system?
so from we will try to wow. Okay.
Wow.
Seat in Congress. 100 in the Senate and 5.
The 5 in Wyoming has the least with 3.
Don't forget DC though, because of the 23rd Amendment to the 3. On the citizens' behalf. These elections aren't really obligated to vote for the candidates that are the new president of the United States.
This process doesn't make much sense